Do you want to know how do you crack your interviews? Are you preparing for job interviews and you can't take a chance to get rejected because the job opportunity is too important for you? Well, this video will put an end to all your questions regarding interviews and make you an expert in cracking them with ease with 100% success rate every single time. Hello, good people. Welcome to my channel, your communication expert. In this channel, I'm going to share some amazing secrets about some life surviving skills like the interpersonal skills, the English language skills, and many more to come. And I assure you that your transformation of becoming a happy and a successful human being is assured. We learn a variety of subjects and a lot of technical skills in our academics, but unfortunately most of our education systems, they don't cover certain crucial skills which are required for us to survive in this competitive world. So you're done with your academics and then you just hit the corporate world and then you just go and attend an interview, but you realize you got trained on all the necessary skills, but how do you crack an interview, how do you attend an interview, or rather what are the basics of an interview you have never learned. So let's learn this science of interviews. How do we crack interviews every single time we make an attempt? So let's try and learn that in this channel. And before that, you need to understand what an interviewer actually thinks before he takes an interview, what runs in the mind of an interviewer before we even attempt. Let's try and learn that first. I'm going to do a series of videos on this whole concept of interviews, but again, let's begin with understanding the mindset of an interviewer. So let's look at 8 major aspects of what an interviewer looks at. The first major aspect what an interviewer will look at is, do you actually answer to the point? It's very simple, but most of the candidates or the prospects mess up here. I must have taken thousands of interviews in my career and I've realized that most of the prospects really get tensed and they don't answer to the point. They simply beat around the bush. This is completely wrong. You need to answer to the point precisely. In fact, this particular aspect is linked to an interpersonal skill called active listening. That is a different topic altogether and I'm going to do a separate video on that. But for now, you need to realize that you have to answer to the point very precisely and ensure you're not beating around the bush. The second major aspect what an interviewer will be looking at is, what is your body language communicating? Most of us, we don't give enough emphasis on this aspect of body language. Body language plays a very crucial role in the interview. The way you enter the room, the way you walk, the way you take the chair and sit and have your position, all of it counts. Even before you utter a single word, it really matters about your presence in the room. Body language, in fact, is a separate topic which comes under a part of a major skill called communication skills in non-verbal communication. But for now, you need to understand that you should not convey any kind of negativity through your body language in an interview. You should walk confidently, sit in your chair very confidently, sit upright and have a smile on your face. All of it really counts and then makes a very strong impression in the interviewer's mind. The third major aspect what an interviewer looks at is, did you take time to study about us? Us here in the context means about the role and about the company. I have seen many candidates, many prospects who directly walk in for an interview and they don't study about the company. They have no clue about the nature of the industry, about the employee size, and in fact about the role, what they're applying for. I feel this is not a good practice. We should take time to study about the company, about the job role, and many other things which are required for us to really have a healthy conversation with the interviewer. So ensure that you're taking time to study about the company. And what do you study about the company? There are quite a lot of things about it. But for now, to restrict our discussion, you have to know about the nature of the industry. You have to understand the set of the people whom you might meet in your functional area and many other things which are related in the job description. So you have to take time to study thoroughly and then you apply for an interview or walk in for an interview. The fourth major aspect what an interviewer will look at is, do you fit into the company's culture? Culture these days plays a very crucial role, especially in the hiring aspect. The HR team and in fact the line managers are trained properly to understand if the candidate is really a cultural fit or not. So you have to take time and study and understand what is the culture of the company. And if you say, I don't know how to really study about the culture of a company, this is 2020, you have different means to do that. You have LinkedIn, you have Instagram. There are many ways to really study and understand what is the culture of the company. And after you study the culture of a company and then you align your answers accordingly, you showcase your traits which are in sync with the company's culture, which will enable you to be a select. The fifth major aspect which an interviewer will look at is, are you technically competent? Technology here doesn't refer only to software. In my discussion, it refers to any functional area you belong to, either human resource or IT operations, marketing, anything. If you're not a master in your field, no matter how much of charm you create in the interview, you will be a reject. So it's assumed that you are a master in your own field, and then you have to spend enough time in gaining that knowledge and then really be a master in your own area. So that is one major aspect which you should be completely prepared. The sixth major aspect what an interviewer will look at is, are you adaptable or flexible? These days, the corporates will look at resources who are really flexible on various parameters. When I say flexible or adaptable, it doesn't necessarily mean a complete shift of your functional area. That is not what I mean. Are you ready to take up new challenges? Are you ready to take up new projects and new tasks which come on your way? The corporates will look at that kind of an adaptability in the interviews. So you have to showcase and answer to all the questions accordingly and ensure that you portray your adaptability and flexibility accordingly. The seventh major aspect what an interviewer will be looking at is, are you a good team player? Team playing skills are really important in corporates. Teamwork is the mantra. So you have to align your answers and showcase yourself as a good team player. If your attitude or if your answers doesn't showcase that, and if the interviewer feels that this particular prospect doesn't go well in teams and he or she might not go well with the other colleagues or team members, then that will be a big letdown for you. So ensure that you convey that you are a good team player in your answers, and then you have to really convey that positivity of working in teams. The eighth and the last major aspect what we are going to discuss about what an interviewer might look at in your candidature is, do you possess the right ambition and passion? It's a very easy choice for the interviewer to reject a candidate if the candidate doesn't show these qualities of really being passionate about the job role. Imagine a prospect really giving pale answers in the interview without any direction. Do you think the interviewer will be really interested in that particular prospect? Obviously no. So you out there, don't do that mistake. Ensure all of your answers are conveying that passion towards the job, and it should convey that you are really having an ambition in your life. For example, there can be few questions in the interviews like, what's your short-term plan? What's your long-term plan? And why did you choose this industry? All of the answers for these kind of questions should be really genuine and it should come from your heart. If you really fake it up for these questions, you are going to mess up the whole interview. So ensure that you are really prepared for this particular set of questions. Make a note about all these 8 major aspects which I just discussed. You should practice on all these points pretty well. And now that you understand what an interviewer is actually looking at, it will be really easy for you to align your answers and prepare accordingly. Remember, practice is the key. Are you liking this content? Trust me guys, there is some amazing content which is coming on the way to you. Ensure to subscribe to my channel, Your Communication Expert, and I assure you a real transformation which will make you successful.